Previously on Plotty Time.
Kind of recruits you into it.
And he's like, damn, you're good with a sword.
Yeah.
Come play with my sword.
You're both just an embarrassment.
He bros out everywhere. Let's go play lacrosse after this. Hey everyone, and welcome to Plotty Time, the podcast where we three gamers discuss video game stories in detail with all the necessary and appropriate backlash. On one side of the table, we have Chump Slap.
Oh, yeah, why don't you put your dong where your mouth is, asshole? Let's see it.
On the other side of the table, Dr. Syintist.
All I know is our attorney said it ain't decapitation if the head doesn't come off.
And my name is Poppascotch, and as I always say, this time travel crap just fries your brain like an egg. Welcome to Plotty Time. So, this week we have a little bit. We normally start with Poppascotch's correction crevice.
For years
but
we've been doing it.
We're gonna pivot into a new segment. It's called Poppascotch's clarification crevice.
What?
They're not the same?
Multiple crevasses? Crevasses?
Yeah. Yes, there's going to be two crevasse that we're
Crevasses.
we're going to pull stuff out of and shove stuff in.
All right.
So the first one, we were talking about a movie about I don't even remember what movie we were actually talking about. It was the movie about I was talking about Unfriended Dark Web last week.
Oh, yes.
And you guys were both like, wait, did I see that? And you're trying to recall certain movies. Dr. Syintist, you were thinking of a film with a deaf woman in a cabin, and that movie, I believe, is called Hush.
Yes, that's it. You're right.
From 2016. Chump Slap, I don't know what the fuck you were talking about. But my best guess is the horror film Smiley from 2012.
That's the one.
About
I was going to talk about that, yeah.
like a fleshy mask that looks like a
Yes.
smiley face.
And then you type something like, did it for the lulz, and then and the guy kills you. Oh, so good.
That's definitely it. It's like a Bloody Mary type murderer.
Yep, all right.
Instead of saying Bloody Mary, you say I did it for the lulz.
That sounds great.
Great stuff. That's a slapper if I've ever heard it. Christ. But let's go ahead. That's all I got for the correction crevice. The clarification crevice.
Oh, okay.
I had to clarify the crevice corrections. So let's move on to what we did this week, and we're going to start with you, Dr. Syintist. What'd you play? What'd you watch? What's going on over there?
Well, I watched more of Eureka again, and I watched some more of the Into the Dark anthology on Hulu.
So, I forgot to look that up.
And played a lot of Bug Fables on PlayStation.
Bug?
B-U-G.
Fables.
Yes. It's like
We did mention this last week.
Yeah. Paper Mario style animation with bugs. You're a bee, a beetle, and a moth.
Okay. That was 7 days ago. I don't remember.
That's easily 2 or 3 months in 2020 time. But yeah, I've gotten close to the end game, just looking for collectibles now. Once you get all the, abilities and games, and you have to go back and look around.
So are you going for the plat?
Possibly. There's an annoying one where you have to play mini games and get high scores, and I don't know if I want to do that.
That's one of those ones where you're like, all right, I'll try the mini games. So we'll get an idea of how hard they are.
Yeah.
And then you get like the first two real easy, and then the third one's kind of hard, and you're like, oh well, I'm in now. Now I'm putting in all these hours to figure out.
One of the mini games is like Flappy Birds or whatever the fuck that game is.
How rare is the platinum?
I don't know. The game just came out on PlayStation, but it's been out on like Steam for months now.
Gotcha. And that's Bug Fables.
Bug Fables, yes. It's a good game.
Gotcha.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. What did you do, Poppascotch? Because I didn't do shit.
That's it? You're done now?
Yeah, as far as I can remember.
Okay, great. Okay, so what did I do? I played a good amount of games, but not for very long.
Let me guess.
Like I just jumped in.
Stadia?
Yep, all I played was Stadia.
He got booted a lot, so couldn't play that long.
Yeah. My bandwidth cap lost its mind. But no, I played. I dropped in and played a little bit of NHL 20.
Oh, Chell.
Yes, that's exactly, Chell. So from now on, whichever one I say, you're just gonna correct me. Is that what we're doing?
No, because when you say Chell, I'm gonna say, what's Chell?
Yeah.
But
Perfect. I also played. I dropped in and played a couple missions of Call of Duty World War II to try and remember and see if it was not as great as I remembered, and it's not. It's not really good.
is it dated or is it?
It's like it just feels like a huge missed opportunity because it was their like foray back into World War II, and it just seemed very like linear and lazy and on rails, and none of like the set pieces that they did, they were either not interesting or we've seen them in other games.
That's sad because killing Nazis would probably sell a lot right now.
I know, right? Wolfenstein, where you guys at? You should be selling another game or some DLC or get something out there. But it's a hard meh. The multiplayer I'm sure is fun, but meh. Also played some little bit more of LA Noire. Just kind of slowly working my way through that, doing some missions. Cases. But the big news of the week is I platinumed Resident Evil 2 finally.
Is that the one you had to play like 30 times?
Yep, that's the exact one. The last thing I had to do was an additional mode called Survivor Mode. And remember, we watched the game. We went over this. Well, you guys probably don't remember. That was weeks ago. But there was that Umbrella team of soldiers that came in and shot Birkin. Remember those guys? Dressed like badasses with the Survivor Mode is there's one of those guys left. And you start in the sewer section, and you have to like run your way back up to the police department and out for a helicopter extraction. It's like a mini game. It takes like 10 minutes.
Do you have the briefcase that you left with? Or are you just running out without anything?
No, you don't have the briefcase. That would make a lot more sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's just you as the last survivor of that team, and you need to run through, and you run to a bunch of zombies and dogs and other creatures and shit. But and all I had to do was complete it, and it was so fucking hard, and I finally got it.
Well,
I had to watch like a speed run of how people get through sections with like a whole bunch of enemies very quickly.
You had to do research to get the plat. I've been there.
wow. That's crazy. You guys
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's like a I think my run was like 11 minutes or something, but in reality it took like 2.5 hours. So there we are. But and then I also there's that big sale going on right now for PlayStation. Have you seen this? The new sale that just went up like
The 3060?
the Days of Play? Or?
Yeah. I'll look it up, see what it's actually called.
There's a
but
Days of
I
Play
ended
one.
up to I had $30 of PlayStation credit. I don't remember where it came from, so I bought Resident Evil 3 and I started playing that.
The remake?
The one that just came out?
Oh, nice.
That's like 6 hours long.
Yeah, but it looks gorgeous.
It's very pretty, and that's why the first playthrough I'm just like taking my time to go through it because there's a trophy for beating it in under 2 hours, so it's not a long game.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I'm sure that's running through and hitting everything well and putting up a good time, but still there was
Putting up a good time.
the equivalent trophy in Resident Evil 2 was like beat it in under 5 hours or something like that. So
and usually they make them forgiving, so you could probably beat it in like an hour and a half easily.
Yeah.
probably. But that's what I played. A lot of random shit. What did I watch? I actually started a show that you told me to watch, Forever Syintist. I finally did it, and I think I'm not regretting my decision.
Man, I have no idea.
Warehouse 13.
Well, that's a good one.
Supernatural.
Oh, shit.
First season's a little bit difficult to get through.
It's not like I get it how they're setting stuff up, and it's certainly not bad. Like it's not the worst show I've ever watched. That's for damn sure. But the thing I can't get over is I looked at how many episodes there are.
There's like
320 of them.
Jesus.
There's 15, 16
At like
seasons,
40
maybe?
some minutes. I think 15 just ended.
That's insane.
I'm like,
no way.
yeah.
And when you watch the first 5, because it was supposed to only be 5 seasons, but it kept getting renewed. Because it kind of can end right after the 5th season, but they keep going. But
Oh, so there's like a big final like moment
yeah,
where they're like, yeah, we could all walk away from this right now.
yeah. But then
But
then it becomes better.
Yeah.
Oh. Just got to make it through 60 some episodes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, about 60 episodes, and then it starts going downhill around episode like 275.
But then it comes back at 300.
And 310 to 315, guys. Holy shit. Now, I remember being at a con in D.C. a couple years ago, and they had the car. Just a booth with the car there that they drove.
Oh, there's a
car they drive around the United States all the time.
like the General Lee.
No, not racist. It's not a racist car.
It's just, it's black.
Is it? Oh,
great.
Oh,
so it's like Kit.
Yeah. There's an episode in like season 11 where it's just an episode from the viewpoint of the car.
That's pretty neat.
It is awesome.
So, is there, and don't you dare lie to me, Chump Slap, are there any other famous cars you can name right now?
The Mystery Mobile.
I was at a complete loss.
The A-Team van.
The most racist of them all.
What was the one that asshole raced around with? Wow.
Those are NASCAR cars.
Speed Racer's car?
Speed Racer's car. Those are NASCAR. Oh, perfect. All right, great. So that's I still watched other shit. I watched
The Batmobile.
3 horror movies, 2 stinkers, 1 good one. I watched The House at the End of the Street. I don't know if you guys remember this one, but it was Jennifer Lawrence was in it when she was very young before she broke out.
I think I've seen that one.
It was not great.
What
yes,
happens?
I remember it not being good.
It was about like this this woman and her daughter, Jennifer Lawrence, they move into a house somewhere else, and across like the yard on a different property, there was like a grisly murder, 15 years prior or whatever, and the youngest son still lives there. He's like 21 or 22. And he turns out to be spoilers for a movie that came out 8 years ago. He turns out to be the murderer.
You don't see it coming at all.
Yeah, it sounds
No.
right out of left field.
Elizabeth Shue plays the mom. She does what she can, but, not a great movie. So I also watched, get ready for this. Hold on to something. Doom Annihilation.
Oh, I've seen that.
I've seen it.
Like, you've actually both watched it, or you just...
No, I've actually
seen
watched
it
the
on-
whole thing.
I
think I've watched it twice, actually.
Why? Why would you do that to yourself?
Because I was bored of flipping through things to see if they were watching. I'm like, I'll fucking watch this again. Just put it on in the
You put it
background.
on, you go on your phone.
Yeah.
It's over before you know it.
That's basically it.
Oh, that's your pickup line, too, isn't it? Boom! Boom! Oh, I'm sorry. That was
it's
right
so
there.
true.
I could not. That was bad. I didn't like that movie at all because there are zombified enemies in Doom, but they're more like demons and they're not like traditional slow-walking zombies, and those were like the main enemy in that game.
It was more entertaining than some movies I've seen. It definitely wasn't.
There was a lot of questionable science in there, though.
It's a movie called Doom Annihilation about demons.
There's no questionable science. Don't kid yourself.
There's alternate facts.
I did like alternate facts. Oh, man. I
Forgot about that.
That was like 2 years ago.
feels like 40. Well, there was a different, in the beginning of the film when they first get on the asteroid base or whatever it is, they find the first dead body, which was one of them, like their security unit or whatever they were replacing.
Yeah.
And they look up the name, and it's like William Blazkowicz.
Oh.
So it's like a nod to Wolfenstein.
Interesting.
So I thought that was cool. And I'm like, where are the other Easter eggs? Then they had the BFG, and that was it.
That's not even an Easter egg, because that's a Doom thing.
Yeah, it's definitely
It's
part of
not even close to an Easter egg. So then I watched finally a good movie, which holds up amazingly from the year of our Lord, 1997, Event Horizon.
Talk about questionable science.
I love space crazy movies.
So do
like
I,
that.
actually.
They're so great.
But that one goes off the rails like in the last 10 minutes. You're like, what the fuck?
I think my favorite is Cloverfield one. Cloverfield
Oh,
Paradox.
that is a good one. I like
that was a
one.
good one.
Yeah.
They're like, where's Earth? Like, I don't know. Like, it's not there anymore. What? Yeah, it holds up. It's such a good movie. Because I thought that when I watched it previously that the ship actually went to hell. But now as I watch it again, I'm like, did it or did it experience some kind of stuff that made everyone go insane?
Yeah, you don't really know. What is it? Liberate tutu me ex nefaris.
Is that the one where they're
Yeah.
actually at the bottom of the ocean?
No, that is Pandorum.
No, okay. They're so similar.
That's a good one though too.
Yeah.
No, then
You know what?
Horizon. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't remember anything about the movie Pandorum, except I remember really liking it.
It is good.
Yeah, it's another crazy space movie.
Yeah. But then Horizon's the one with, I can't even think of his name. Who's the main character?
I know who you're thinking of. I could see his face.
Sam
but-
Neill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam Neill, Lawrence Fishburne, Jason Isaacs, I think is the guy's name. Sam Pertwee, Jolie Richardson. Yeah, it's such a great fucking movie.
Yeah,
it's
is.
no In the Mouth of Madness, but it's still pretty good.
It's a comparison.
But that's all I got. I'm finally fucking done. Let's go ahead. Let's talk to you, Chump Slap. Playing, watching. What's going on over there?
Oh boy. Well, I played some more of that Assassin's Creed Origins, but not much of it.
Oh, you did work again this week.
Yeah. Shh.
Oh, yeah, that's on the
It's
DL.
secret.
So did you do like more walking around, exploring, that kind of thing? Just being bored and
Yeah, just
checking out what's
doing
out there?
some missions, but then I don't know, couldn't hold my attention this week.
Did you fight any hippos?
Couple. They were attacking people, so I had to save
Yeah.
them. But yeah, it's still good, don't get me wrong, but I got to be in a mood, I guess. That's all the games I played. I couldn't bring myself to do anything else.
Yeah.
Watched a bunch of shit, though. Watched Space Force.
See,
I
I watched it too. I didn't really like it very much. I thought it could have been a lot funnier until like episode 9 when those two contractors showed up.
Yeah.
They made me laugh. Where they're like, "Has anyone masturbated in front of another employee?" Like, well, can you define masturbate? I will not. And they're like, you know what? Doesn't matter. I did it. Whatever you think,
Yeah.
I did it.
Whatever the definition is, I did it.
Well, that doesn't
That
bode
was
well if
pretty
it took
great.
to episode 9 to...
Well, but Benny Schwa was awesome in everything he did, but
That's true. But he took a back seat. Like he was only in like 5 of the episodes.
yeah, he definitely should have been in more. And the way it ended was just, I was like, "Where's the next episode?" It didn't even seem like anything, like a cliffhanger or nothing. It was just like, we just
Yeah,
don't
they
wanna
didn't
make
build
anymore.
to anything. You know, like it wasn't a good flow.
No, it's definitely weird, but I mean, it's worth watching, but not great. Don't get your hopes up. But I also watched this movie. I think I talked about this one before. You guys tell me. Lavalantulas.
It sounds completely made up. I think I've
Say
seen that movie.
one more time, please.
Lavalantula.
It's a sci-fi movie, right?
Yeah, it's from the people who made Sharknado.
Yeah, it's like 7 years old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I've
It's
definitely
pretty
seen
old.
it.
Steve Gutenberg.
So wait,
Them and Frostbiters.
fuck, it's Steve Gutenberg. Sweet. So let me guess. Lavalantula is about, I'm gonna assume, a lava flow that is filled with tarantulas.
Wrong.
Oh man.
It's a drama set in the 1700s.
No, you got it. They're lava spewing tarantulas.
Lava spewing tarantulas?
Yeah.
How does that fucking math work?
I don't know.
Whatever.
They
All
live in lava and they breathe it, I guess.
They can survive it.
I don't know. Steve Gutenberg's in it.
So you know it's good.
Well, Sharknado shows up too for a second. He's like,
How? He's a cameo?
yeah. He's like, I'd love to help you, but I got some sharks to take care of.
That sounds amazing.
It's pretty good. Give it a go. I watched Population 436 about this town that population stays. It's like one of those fucking classic creepy towns where people just...
I think I've seen that one too.
I can see the poster.
Oh, yeah?
I haven't seen the movie.
Well, you'll remember Fred Durst played a cop.
It's very possible I started it and shut it off.
Yeah, it's not
Now
that
I know
good.
I
It's not that
definitely
good.
didn't see it.
Fred Durst is he? How are his acting chops?
Poor.
It's hard to believe.
He's a better singer.
Oh, take that as
Whoa, shots fired, Dursty.
That's mean. That's mean, bro.
well. He could be a phenomenal singer. He's not.
Yeah, I've never heard him sing. Anyway.
Wow.
I watched The Core, everyone's favorite.
Drilled in the middle of the earth movie.
Yeah, it's so bad. I forgot
Is
how
that
bad
the one
it
with
was.
Hilary Swank's in that,
what's
right?
her name? That's it.
Fucked if I know. Probably.
She's the female lead scientist.
I
lady.
don't. I'm not good with names or faces.
Was that the one where the guy made the drill that could like vaporize rock or whatever? And they're like, how much would it cost to put it in front of a ship? It's like, I don't know, $85 billion. Like, okay, done.
Sounds right. I remember him just drilling through large diamonds and shit. And
Such a great movie.
yeah. We have to set off the nukes in a specific order. Yeah, it's so bad.
To get the core spinning again.
Yeah, because the core just stopped spinning, man. It could happen. Talk to some
Who knows at 2020 anymore?
Talk to some scientist friends of mine. They say it's a very real possibility.
You don't have any scientist friends.
I don't have any friends.
Yeah, you gotta have friends first, right? Where they specialize.
I watched this movie called Midnighters about this couple that's coming home from a New Year's Eve party and they hit some guy with their car and then they just take him to their house and shit gets crazy from there.
What
Now,
happens?
I know this is going to be a stupid question, but who's in that one?
I couldn't tell you.
I probably saw a movie that was kind of like it.
Well, the cops show up and then this guy shows up. Turns out he's looking for money. Turns out the guy was actually going to the house to try to fucking do something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know any of these actors.
Yeah, see, it's a bunch of no names. But it was actually pretty decent.
Decent? Okay.
Yeah.
Like decent for a movie or decent for a decent slapper?
No, actually decent movie. Yeah. It wasn't slappy
lame.
really at all. I know. It's kind of upsetting.
Just the suspense.
Yeah, it's pretty bloody too. They torture a
Nice.
guy, put nails through his fingers and stuff.
Sexy.
Yeah, tell me about
Hot. Ow!
it. That's pretty much all the movies I have
Except
except
for the slap of the week.
The slapper of the week.
There we go. Slap, 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 slap.
I'm sure you've all wanted to watch this movie, saw it a couple times, and thought to yourself, that looks interesting. It's called Spaghetti Man.
Oh, okay. I obviously know what
All
that
right, yeah,
is.
go ahead.
but-
What do you think it is?
No, I don't want to take the spotlight. Why don't you explain to
Is
everybody?
it a man made of spaghetti?
Close. It's a guy.
How could that be close and not be right?
Well,
That's a bit. That's an in or out statement here.
I guess he is.
Is he made of some kind of pasta? Farfalle
Well, he's
or
not
ziti?
made. No, he's like a normal person. Loses his job, eats some radioactive spaghetti.
Some radioactive spaghetti?
Yeah.
Was the sauce
Well,
radioactive or the spaghetti?
No. See, he puts it in his microwave. His microwave fritzes out and turns the spaghetti like crazy.
The classic danger of microwaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, always.
So it turns out he can shoot spaghetti from his hands, like Spider-Man, kind of. But it just like shoots out in clumps. And he goes on like a vigilante type. But every time he like saves somebody, he like saves this lady from getting her purse stolen. He's like, okay. And he does the money fingers. And he's like, you want to give me some money for that? So he tries to make money off of being a vigilante.
Is this a pitch? Are you pitching us on this, or does this actually exist?
It actually exists.
It's kind of a superpower I'd want because then I'd like never have to make meals.
Yeah.
As long as it comes out kind of warm.
Yeah, it comes out steaming hot, they said.
Oh.
It was weird though, because like when he woke up and he had the power,
His bed is just full of spaghetti.
no, he just took a piss in the morning and it was spaghetti.
Gross.
That would suck.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
How do you know if you're done? Does it just cut off at some point, or do you have to cut it? Or
You have to pull it out.
No, it's just like regular spaghetti, like piece after piece, not just one big spaghetti. You'll have to watch it and find out.
yeah. And then, well, see, I'm waiting for them to really get into the Spaghetti Man extended universe. So,
Oh, the SMEU.
yeah, exactly. The SMEU. Oh Christ!
Yeah, but seriously, give it a go. It's a fun romp.
Spaghetti Man, huh? All right, I'll put it on the list.
Yeah, right away at the top.
Watch it. You won't be disappointed.
Well, see, now I'm thinking that the only way we could ever top that is to talk about one of the best video games that ever existed in the history of the world.
In the eyes of some people who are grossly wrong.
Is there no news?
Oh, wait, that's right. We do have news.
Oh.
We'll get to that game in a second. So, it's slim pickings out there in newsland.
Yeah.
So the only thing I got a couple pieces here. The first is apparently somebody dropped on a almost finished build of Dead Island 2. That was from 2015 that was leaked because originally the studio that was going to do Dead Island 2, Jaeger, they did the first one. They were going to do it, but then the publishing company dropped them and then went with somebody else and then with Deep Silver, and then that game ended up getting canceled anyway.
But there was a second There
was Dead Island, and then there was Dead Island Riptide.
Yeah.
But this was a proper Dead Island 2.
Oh, like on a second different island?
With the same people?
I don't know. It was unfinished, but it's a playable build from 2015 that you can go download right now and play.
Meh. Easy, man.
It's an easy, man. I don't know what's different about it. If you guys are interested, go look it up yourselves because, I can't do everything. So the other piece of news that I got is I don't know if you guys saw this, but AMC Theaters put out a statement saying they doubt they'll be able to stay open after the shutdown.
After what shutdown?
The pandemic movie theater shutdown of 2020.
Is that like a nationwide thing? I thought it was just a local kind of.
No, all movie theaters are shut down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so AMC's been shut down since probably the middle of March-ish, around there. And they have a timetable of when they're going to come back. And they said if they don't hit that, they don't know if they'll survive. And I, for one, say, you know what? Fuck them.
Yeah.
AMC's the only theater around here worth going to.
Yeah, we lost Lee Heighton Theater.
Yeah, that's gone too.
That's a bummer. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, well.
AMC has, it said 900 theaters with 11,000 screens in U.S. and Europe. This is also the same studio that tried to sue Universal Studios for releasing Trolls 2 just on digital during the pandemic rather than releasing it in the theater.
Trolls 2?
Yeah, after
Yeah.
the original
Oh,
Trolls.
not Troll 2.
No, that's a very different film. But, hey, man, your business model is not good, and you refuse to change it for 30 years, so
Yeah.
sorry.
Roll with the punches, dude.
I did like the one tweet I saw was like, maybe we should reconsider a society that crashes when we stop eating out for 2 weeks.
Let it fall.
That's a good one. Then, sort of along the lines of this is GameStop is supposedly, the rumor is, going to report massive losses for Q1.
Good. Why can't they shut down?
We can only hope.
A lot of them
I was going to ask you guys what you feel about it, but
Fuck GameStop.
Syintist is pretty clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I was thinking about this, and I'm like, this is the time when you spent those years as a company of creating all this goodwill with your consumers. Like, these are supposed to be the times when your consumers are like, man, I love that place. I got to help them out, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly why GameStop got nothing.
Yeah, they've been fucking people over for 30 years.
In 1999, I pre-ordered Final Fantasy VIII from GameStop.
And they didn't have
I
it.
went there the day it came out with the receipt and the pre-order stuff. And he said, "Oh, we don't have it. We sold them all."
Yeah, they've been doing that to everybody for years.
I was like, why did I pre-order it and reserve it? Well, we don't have any.
Pieces of garbage.
Yeah. So I've been spitting on them ever since.
Yeah, and I remember, I mean, I'm sure we all have a very similar story of I had a game that was purchased recently. It wasn't purchased from there. It was like a gift or whatever. So I played through it, beat it, went to trade it in, and it was like a, first month of release.
Yeah.
And it's like, how much can I get for this? So like, I'll give you $15. I was like, but you have a used copy of this exact game on that shelf for $55.
Yeah. That 15 is credit only. You want cash?
Yeah.
$8.
Yeah. Best I could do.
So is
and
it
then,
go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that always pissed me off about them, but the worst was when you found yourself at a GameStop and you went to buy a game and they tried to sell you like 7 other fucking things at the counter. Like, are you sure you don't need the strategy guide for this? I'm like, no, I have the internet like everybody else.
You want to sign up for
Like,
our
okay.
GameStop monthly email? It's only $20 a year.
Would you like to spend another $4 on disc insurance? I'm like, dude, I think this disc will last longer than your business. Like, I don't think there's a thing called Amazon. Like, you're done. But I feel bad for ThinkGeek because didn't they buy ThinkGeek and try to sell that shit in their stores?
Yeah, they tried to sell a bunch of I don't know.
Tchotchkes and stuff.
Yeah, they sold magic cards and shit too. But
Hey, fuck GameStop. That's my official stance. Hashtag
FGM.
Yeah.
FGS.
FGS.
All right, hashtag FGS. Yeah, I'm not thrilled about it either. Maybe you shouldn't have, screwed over children essentially for decades, and this wouldn't have been a problem. Maybe they would have helped you out, but no, fuck you. That's all the news I have for this week.
Now,
What was this game you were talking
speaking
about?
of awesome games,
Speaking of fucking GameStop, we have a game this week, probably one of the best, I'd say top 2 games that ever existed in the world. You guys obviously agree. We don't need to stop the reactions. So this week, we are talking about the 1993 undisputed heavyweight classic, The Seventh Guest. Yeah, bro. The Seventh Guest.
I read it made CD-ROM drives popular.
That and porn.
It sure did that in porn. It was released April 1st, 1993, exclusively for PC and
Exclusive.
exclusively on CD-ROM. You couldn't play it on no damn floppy disk no more.
How many floppy disks do you think that would take?
Well, CD. It was a double CD disc too.
Oh,
So
Jesus.
it was, some for real shit we're talking about. Those had a solid 650 megs on each, if I remember correctly.
And what's a floppy? 1.44
Kilobytes?
megs,
It was,
I think.
No, you're correct. 1.44. So how many floppy disks does it take to?
Math
the
is not
content
my
of
strong
CD.
point anymore.
it would be around 10.
And that sounds right. So, it was developed by Trilobite and published by Virgin Interactive Entertainment. It is a point-and-click puzzle game written by Matthew Costello, who usually I don't really pause on the writers, but Matthew Costello actually went on to do a lot of novels and video games, including Doom 3, the video game. He did Just Cause, the original one. He did Just Cause 2.
The second one.
More recently, the second one, yep. And more recently, he did Rage. And also, way back in the day, he wrote the sequel to this, which maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll get to that at some point.
The 11th
I don't
hour.
know. I don't know.
The 11th hour.
11th
Wasn't there a
hour.
third one? 13th something?
I don't know.
13th Ghost?
No. That's a Matthew Lillard movie.
And a Tony Shalhoub movie.
The Shalhoub! So, I picked it this week, so I'll give everyone a quick rundown. Basically, it is a puzzle game that is heavy on the puzzles and is not heavy on the explanations of how to solve the fucking puzzles.
No.
At all. This game does not hold your hand through any of this. So, also, I'm pretty sure you can't die. Like, you either solve puzzles or you rage quit. Like, that's how you beat the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either give up on a puzzle or beat the game.
Exactly. There were, and we'll get to it, there was at least one puzzle you could skip, but I think the rest of them you had to do, or a lot of them you had to do in order to progress. The lead-in to the actual game is it's told like in that novel vignette style. We've seen this a lot of times in like fantasy-type games where they'll open a book and be like, come and see the story. Borderlands did it with one of the DLCs.
Oh, yes.
With the Dungeons and Dragons one.
Mm-hmm.
But we get it. I don't need to keep talking about that. So there's this guy, some real, scumbag, sleeping in the fucking dirt. Robs, steals, whatever he does to stay alive. The voiceover actually says, the phrase says he has no life, no possessions, no dreams. So this guy's basically like a nothing person. Like, he doesn't matter.
Well, I got 2 out of 3.
I don't know which one he's missing.
I have possessions.
So the book, the voiceover says that's when the visions came. So our lead character, who we would later come to recognize as, or figure out, was Henry Stauff. And he gets a vision of a doll. And he mentions it and says it was a gift to him. In the full motion video cutscenes in this game, he actually pulls the doll out of the air and inspects it, which I think was more of just like a visual way of telling us, like, you got a good look at this doll. Anyway, he makes this doll, and he believes that he spent all his time carving this doll, making a new one, and for some reason, I don't know why he did this, but it moves the story along. He took it to the bar with him.
Because it was his only possession at the time.
Did he actually take it with him, or did he just tell the bartender?
It's tough. This game is I did forget to mention, but it's kind of told in the story, like in the vein of like Night Rider.
Game?
It's not Night.
Speaking of Kit.
No, 2 fucking Knight Rider references. Can we get a Hoff reference later, maybe? We'll see.
Possibly.
I don't want to force it. He took the doll to the bar. He was like, hey, look, check out this doll. And the bartender's like, you know what? My kid would love it. How about I'll take the doll off your hands, and I'll give you a place to sleep for a little bit and some food. And then Stauff was like, yeah, man, I'm poor as shit. Let's do it.
All right. I think he brought it to the bar because he didn't have money, and he was trying to get free beer with it. And then the bartender's
Possibly.
like, all right, I have a daughter. That's pretty cool. I'll take it.
You can live here.
Yeah, live here.
Yeah, thanks for the toy. My daughter will love it. You can live here forever. Also, I don't really understand or have a good idea of when the game takes place. It takes place in the fictional town of Henry on the Hudson, which is a terrible name for a fictional town.
Yeah, it is.
That's probably the only strike against the game. But so,
It seemed to me like 60s or 70s. Maybe even like the early 1900s, somewhere in the 19th or 20th
I would have said 40s, maybe.
I was thinking 30s, but
it could be anywhere in the
all right,
1900s.
We'll say 20s to 80s.
Yeah.
Perfect. 1800s, 1900s, right? 20 to 80.
Well, this happened before that, because before all the guests come.
Oh, yes.
Oh, sorry, I was drinking. So
more like stinking.
You just move into the next section where Stauff has another vision. Is it Stauff or Staff? I think it's Stauff. Stauff. That's it.
Like Hoff.
No.
Nailed it.
You ask and you shall receive.
That was wow. All right, you guys are on the ball today. This is gonna be a good one. So Stauff has another vision, and this time it's of a puzzle of some sort. It looks like a child's game, like one of those ones where there's just like a star, and you put the star piece in it.
The puzzle
Whatever.
from Idiocracy that they couldn't do.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this puzzle was like Cabbage Patch Kids. Every fucking kid wanted one. Because I know only the coolest, newest toys, so that's my reference is Cabbage Patch Kids.
Yes.
Stauff, times goes by, he makes a fuckload of money off these. And then there was a little tiny hiccup, which is a bunch of children died.
And not before he built a mansion.
Right. Right. They said the virus came. The kids started dying, clutching their dolls tightly.
Oh.
So, the last vision Stoff had was to create a mansion, a house that, quote, scared people.
Yeah.
I don't know why, like, it's like, I need you to build a house now. Like, really? This is taking a turn? All right, it's got to be fucking terrifying.
Well, did something tell him to make it, or did he just see a vision?
He had
and
another
just made
dream,
it?
I think. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, that'd be a good house to have. Scary as shit.
And it's like up this, it's like some shit out of like a Dracula Transylvania novel. There's like a cliffside going up to the house, and it's just completely isolated. Canyons on all sides.
It's always lightning.
Yeah.
Always lightning. It's always nighttime for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden you transition and you are in the house. Boom.
You just
are
wake
in
up.
a first-person playable character in the house.
Who are you?
You don't know.
We don't know.
Oh.
But we now meet our cast of characters.
Ooh, there's some characters for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, we start off with a young woman in red. Her name is Martine Burden.
Mm-hmm.
She, we'll get into these characters and their motivations in a little bit, but she's supposed to be the hot young thing of the cast here.
And she's one of those three.
She is one of those. 33% episode here. So next up we have the couple, Edward and Eleanor Knox. They're slightly higher than middle age, I'd say 50-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they love each other anymore.
Closing in on retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then after that, Julia Hine comes in. She is the old,
I just have pink crazy bitch.
well-to-do.
No, she's the green one.
Yes, she's the green one, but she's all like old money.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just pines to be young again.
Yeah, wants to be young. Was like, oh, I expected more from such a rich man. Blah, blah, blah. That's pretty close to what her voice
Spot on
sounds
voice,
like.
yeah.
And then after that, we get introduced to the Brian Dutton. I have essentially his most biggest character trait is that he walks around with a cane, and I'm pretty sure he's one of those dudes that doesn't need the cane.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I have stuck up dude written down.
Yeah, he's a businessman, and he really wants to impress or learn something from Stauff because he sees him as like the model of a entrepreneur type spirit. So he's like, let me get in on this. Maybe he can help me out. That kind of thing.
Yes.
Capitalism at its best.
You know it.
Yes, of course. Capitalism always goes back to magic. And that, speaking of magic,
Zombie.
we have our final character, Hamilton Temple is the guy's name.
Right.
And he's wearing like the hat.
Yeah, a genie hat.
It's like a swami.
Yeah.
Like,
There it is. All right.
that was a type of magic at some point, was like to trick people that you were from the Far East and therefore knew mystic shit.
Do you think those magicians wore that as like normal clothing?
He did.
Touche.
I think he had a misshapen head and he just wore it to cover it up.
You should take some advice from him.
Yeah, fellow big head here.
Fella big head.
You don't have to worry about buying hats when you can just wrap a thing around it.
Yeah, exactly. I'll become a magician.
So that's now. We still haven't got to the game.
No.
We're getting to that right now. That was all the intro. We now get to actually, I'm going to loosely use the term play the game.
Yeah.
Interact with
Is
the
this
game.
a walking simulator?
No.
Damn it.
It's definitely, well, I don't know. Is it a Metroidvania? Because you unlock certain rooms and you come back in between previously unlocked areas.
Touche,
No.
sir.
Locked areas that are now
It
unlocked.
is not a Metroidvania or a walking simulator.
I'm not gonna get it.
Dude,
like I'm not gonna get it.
same here.
So I'm just gonna assume everything's a Metroidvania. From here, now this is also gonna be a little bit difficult to talk about because as you're playing through the game, as you're doing puzzles, these other characters appear as like ghostly visages. Like they're not real and in the space. They come into a scene, then leave a scene. Not physically, they're like transparent like ghosts.
Yeah, like you're witnessing the past.
Yeah, they only give you like glimpses of the story. And what
Glimpses?
they're doing there.
Yeah.
Glimpses
Meet
of the story.
the glimpses.
It's slightly more than a glimpse.
Okay, gotcha.
So the first and a lot of the videos are different. They just show you all the cutscenes and jam them together. I tried to take the most linear possible path.
I watched the one that said chronological order.
Oh.
I didn't watch that. I just watched a bunch of other ones and guessed. So let's buckle up.
All right.
Let's see how it goes.
So from here, it's a little bit loose, but I have the first room going into as the telescope room / study.
Mm-hmm.
You can either go into that room first, or you can go into the dining room. The dining room probably would make more sense, but we're going to start with the floating, the telescope puzzle. So basically, you see a room, and as you're clicking on the screen, you see like a skeleton hand that tells you which direction you are allowed to go. Like it'll say forward if you can move forward. It's not really even a 3D environment. It's just kind of like an animated movement. You don't freely move. You just click on somewhere and it morphs you over there. Anyway, so you get to the telescope. You do the Mars puzzle where they don't give you any kind of help at all. It's basically, I'm not going to explain all these puzzles, but this one has a bunch of letters. They're interconnected by certain lines, and you have to connect them all together till you get a sentence. And no spoilers, so I'm not going to give you what the answer was. You got to figure it out yourselves, people. Play the 2018 remaster of the game.
What?
Yeah. You're welcome.
Damn. There's no possible way I'm playing that.
Spoiler.
So after you succeed with this, you see what I'm only can explain as a floating staff head. And you hear the narrator talking a little bit about how it's like a poem style about the 5 or 6 guests that show up and are never seen again. It's very strange because this is like a callback to the beginning of the story, which we just did.
Yeah.
Like this would make a lot more sense if it was like 75% of the way through the game. Like, oh yeah, that's why I'm here. But no, it's like immediate. And they finish with him being crazy, sick, and mean. In case we were confused who the bad guy was in this story.
Capitalism?
The bad guy was inside all of us the whole game.
Time.
The treasure is the child death, which we'll get to. So then we head off into the dining room, and you see a little FMV of the whole group that is sitting around the table. Stoff explains he's not there. He sent like a note in his place, which I guess is okay. And this is probably the most guidance you're going to get for any puzzle.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's like, all the pieces have to be equal. So it's just a puzzle. It's a cake in sections. There has to be 2 gravestones, 2 skulls, and an empty piece. And you have to like cut it up to make sure it all is equal. So, I mean, that's what we're working with puzzle-wise. It's going to get so much more confusing, these fucking puzzles.
Yeah, the puzzles would just...
But after this, you see another FMV where Martine, remember the hot young thing, she's very, to use the term of our time, thirsty for Edward.
All right, fair
In
enough.
the parlance of the time.
Yeah.
Yes, very thirsty, this young, and good for her. But we have no idea why. But she's like hanging all over Edward, and she's like, "Hey, how about we go up to the bedroom?" Blah, 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 herber, herber. And for some reason, their faces turn into skulls, and we hear screaming. Ah! That's pretty darn close. So next step, again, loosely linked to this, we head to the kitchen, where Edward's wife... Oh, yeah, by the way, Martine did this all like right in front of Eleanor, his wife. And everyone's just like, okay, this is how this story is now. Like, Martine and Edward are a thing.
Yeah.
And Eleanor's got her own agenda.
Yeah, they stopped loving each other years ago. It's fine.
Oh, that was just understood, that part?
Yeah. Is Eleanor Big Pink?
Yes.
Okay.
Big Pink? Is that
That's how I had the name until I figured out who it was.
I actually stopped the video and went to the wiki to figure out who the characters
After
were.
that kitchen, Eleanor finds a note. Her lips are moving for some reason, but we hear Stoff. I assume she's reading it.
Yeah, Stoff wrote it.
She seems very startled, and basically the whole gist is the house is alive with clues. Mm-hmm. So, again, we are still at a point where we don't know why Worst off is why he's not here, why we're in this house, or why there are fucking puzzles everywhere. I still have no idea.
At this point, I assumed it was going to be like Clue.
And I don't think you're wrong, like, to think that.
No.
That's how it's set up.
Yeah.
Or maybe, like, the first time I played it, like, I was like, this is kind of creepy. But I thought, like, murder mystery.
Yeah.
You know?
Like Stoff's dead.
Yeah.
Who killed him? And then it did not go that way. So, in the kitchen is probably the most difficult puzzle of the whole fucking game. and the one that made me stop playing this when I was young. It is they give you a certain number of letters. You have to make an entire sentence without using any vowels.
Yeah, they don't tell you that, though.
No, they do not tell you that. They don't tell you have to make a sentence. They don't tell you what the sentence is like. That you just have to figure it the fuck out, I guess. I don't know who would have ever in a billion years got that.
Just to be clear, you're the only one that played it out of us, right?
Yeah, I didn't play it.
Yeah, I didn't play
Yeah.
it. Okay.
I remember, I don't remember if it was myself or someone else, but they got it like with a computer they ordered. It might have been like late 93, maybe 94.
I was going to say, you could probably Google now, like, sentence with no vowels.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like, we tried to beat this game, and this is always where we got to, because we couldn't get past this part, because it's fucking impossible. We're children. We know, like, 5 fucking words that don't have vowels in them.
I didn't know spryly was a word.
And tryst?
Yeah. I had no idea. I knew, like, the last 3 words are by my crypt. Like, okay, I get that part. But the rest was like, fuck, real. It is. So we cheated, obviously, and went online and found the answer. Probably Game Facts. Shout out.
Woo.
Game FAQs.
I still use it.
Yeah, so we cheated to get. We definitely cheated on all the puzzles to get to the end. So you finish this puzzle, and then there's a scene where Julia, the old biddy lady, who's like, old Betty, she saw it. She's like,
Betty.
oh, I did it. I'm so good at this. I'm like, fuck you. You know how much time that took me? You're going to sit here and take all the credit? Fuck you, Julia. You're a piece of shit. So,
Wow.
then this is where, yeah, I have a lot of strong feelings
I
about
see.
this game.
It is full of white people.
Ugh. Tell me about it. You continue on through a door in the kitchen, and you find what I can only describe as a secret passage, I guess.
They said it was a secret passage in the game.
Is it really a secret?
It's a door.
Yeah.
Is it a secret passage if they tell you it's there?
Whoa. You just blew my mind, man.
Now, I remember this was a puzzle in itself they didn't explain to you, because in some of the videos, maybe you guys saw it, but you keep clicking and you have to click in a certain order. You're basically walking through a maze, and you have no way of knowing that. You just keep clicking until you get to
It was
actual great puzzle.
It was like one of those old D&D dungeon crawl dungeons.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah. I just remember clicking on it a bunch of times, like, how fucking long is this? And then I was like, oh, you have to do it in an order. But you get to the great puzzle, and it's like, oh no, this isn't the great puzzle. This is the tomb puzzle. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you meant like GREAT.
Yes, it is pretty great.
Actually, it's a bunch of bullshit. This puzzle, it has 9 tombs, and skeletons pop up out of them. The point of it is, it's one of those games where you hit one, and then it activates several others on the board somewhere.
Yeah, it's like Lights Out. I don't know if you ever played that handheld game.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
But it didn't have any pattern on this one.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of bullshit. So eventually you solve it, and then you go downstairs. You see like a sky view of when you're solving it, but you go downstairs next to the tombs, and you see Edward and Martine are there, and they're trying to take a small child for some reason. We'll learn who this is later. But this kid, why, I don't know, why is he dressed like a milkman? Is my first question.
That's how all children dressed in the 40s.
Yeah. He kind of looked like Tom Sawyer.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely a product of his time.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Hamilton, the magician, shows up, and then he stabs Edward directly in the neck. And then Martine's face changes, and it's distorted like a lizard, and Hamilton says, "Don't you worry, it's only an illusion. Run, kid." And the kid runs away. Now, I would say that means Edward's dead, but no, we're jumping all over time here. He'll be back later. So a crypt opens up, you go down into it, and then for some reason you arrive back at the kitchen. There's all kinds of like weird spatial relations and things going on and teleport, I guess.
Yeah, it's like the Clue
You can call them.
game board, you know,
You can go
from the conservatory to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's exactly like
So now you're back in the kitchen and you see Julia again in here, and she's like fucking around with a pot on the stove.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how to describe this, but I called it the ragu face comes out of the pot.
Yeah, soup head. Yeah.
Soup head. That's a good one. Ragu face, soup head, and she just stares there looking at it like, what is happening? And then it talks and says, bring him to me. She goes, I can smell it. I feel sick, and runs away.
I can smell it.
That's what she says.
Can't you smell that smell?
Ooh, that smell.
In the main hall, you see Mr. Dutton. He's reading a note that says, now we actually get why they're there, which is everyone has to spend the night there as his guest. And if you do that, you will get what your heart desires.
Ooh.
Ooh, you just gotta survive the night.
And the note says, and it alludes to stuff like, it involves a seventh guest who is someone special who you haven't met
They
yet.
said the name.
Yeah. They said only one person is leaving with their wishes fulfilled. So it's a contest. And then you do the stained glass puzzle with the spiders.
That's more than enough explanation.
Yeah, that wasn't even a puzzle. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, that you just have to, like, you click on a dot, a spider appears, and you make it move to another dot. And then Tad runs into frame, tries to get out of the front door, which is the stained glass door, and then runs away.
Who is Tad?
Tad is the kid.
Oh.
The milk boy.
Yeah, we will see the scene later, but eventually Tad was a neighborhood kid who, this was like the scary, creepy house on the block, you know what I mean? That kind of style. Mm-hmm. So his asshole friends dared him to like go in there and sneak in and see what he could find out. And wrong fucking place, wrong fucking time,
Yeah,
guys.
you called it.
You head upstairs and you get the chatter teeth. I don't know if you guys saw this in the videos you watched, but you'd get those mechanical chattering teeth when you would click on something, and it wasn't a puzzle. It was just like a weird like thing.
Yeah.
Like a weird moment, whatever. You could do it like on this. There's a woodland painting where hands like try to bust through it. There's one upstairs in the attic where you click on a trunk and a skeleton comes out, looks at you, and then falls apart for some reason.
Does that do anything, or is it just
it's just trying to be like
spooky?
Scary little.
Ooh.
It's
Yeah.
spooky.
You said make it spooky.
So there's also one with a clown, which makes the least amount of sense.
Yeah.
You click on a red balloon, and it's just a creepy clown who's like, hey there, kids. You want a red balloon? And it's like, what the fuck is it? And then the clown his face becomes a skull, and then it goes away.
If I had a nickel.
Yeah, seriously.
So anyway, next up, you get into the game, I guess the billiard room, the game room, we'll call it. And Hamilton's there, and he's like, oh, I want Stoff to show me how to do real magic. It's like, if real magic is an actual thing, I want to know how to do it. I'm paraphrasing. That's not exactly what he said.
It's pretty much.
It's the wish he wants, I guess.
Yeah. It's what his heart desires.
So then you do a chess puzzle. I believe this is the bishop one, right?
I don't know. I stopped writing puzzles down.
Yeah,
after
so did I.
Eighth puzzle.
Yeah.
Puzzle.
It's a bishop one. It was 4 black bishops on the left, 4 white on the right, and you had to get them to the other side without being in a position where the piece can
That's
get
not
taken.
a legal
If
setup.
you didn't know how to play chess, this game's going to be very fucking hard to do these puzzles.
True.
Because there's also a knight one later.
Yeah, but I don't think the knights actually moved in the way they're supposed to. From what I saw.
I fast forwarded the fuck through that. That was like 35 minutes of the video I watched was that puzzle.
Guy fucked up like 12 times.
Hamilton, this is one of the most confusing videos. Hamilton's on top of the chessboard as if he solved this puzzle, right? Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, that's what it is. They want the boy. I'm like, well, how the fuck did you get that from a bunch of chess pieces on the ground? But Hamilton's the first guy that puts it together that Tad is in the house. The house, for some reason, wants this boy to do for some nefarious reason.
Yep.
He believes Tad's the 7th guest. And Hamilton's like, you got to come with me. You got to come with me. And Tad's like, what the fuck is it? And runs away.
Mm-hmm.
So Hamilton was trying to just help, being a weird... Crazy how the weird Swami... He's probably one of the few good guys in this game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say good.
Okay. Anyway, so next you move into a bedroom. Julia's in there. She's like, I love this bed. It's just like one I used to have. And she's looking in the mirror, and I just have she laments being old and shitty.
Yeah, doesn't she become a baby?
Yes, and she's like, that's what I want again. I want to be young. I want my mommy. I want my mommy. And then turns into a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like the Futurama episode where they get too young.
Yeah, exactly.
There might have been some kind of Faustian deal with the devil bargain here, but we didn't fucking see it. She just turned into a baby.
Yep, that's the end of her.
And then on the floor, you have probably one of the better puzzles in the game, which is the heartbeat maze thing. It has like trap doors. You can control which way the blood goes.
Yeah, it made the most sense.
It definitely did. For all the puzzles that gave you no guidance whatsoever, this one made the most sense. So now, in this next section, Hamilton and Tad are in the bedroom. I don't know how they both got there, but, well, they're ghosts. They just appeared. But Hamilton says to Tad, you need to get out. And Tad's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm not buying this. So flash forward a little bit, and Julia shows up in the room and strangles Hamilton to death.
Mm-hmm.
The end of...
Even though we just saw her turn into a baby, she's now a full-grown human strangling him to death.
Yep.
Yeah. Isn't that what that musical was about, Hamilton?
I think so. It was about a Swami, wasn't it?
I thought so. Maybe I missed the point.
Yeah, I think you should rewatch that.
So you head up to the upstairs hallway, and you see for the first time the woman in white, who is just a woman wearing a white dress floating through the hall. That's it. I don't know if she has no arc or story or
No,
whatever.
she's just kind of there.
I think she's just trying to show you the right way to go.
Maybe.
I don't know.
That would make more sense. That'd be a reason she's there. But you see a quick cutscene of Martine showing up and pulling Edward into a room all sexy-like. So you go ahead and head in that room. And you have to... There's a new puzzle on the floor where you have to make a sentence. It's just a bunch of letters, and you have to skip spaces by either 3 or 5. I don't even remember what the thing is. But this is where Stoff starts to get mad that you're solving puzzles. And Martine, after the puzzle, Martine and Edward are in the room where she's seducing him. And I guess they make out hardcore. Like hardcore.
Ooh.
And then this is where things take a little turn, where Edward's head turns into a goat's head.
Yeah.
Then they both disappear and then make all kinds of sex sounds.
Like goats.
I guess. Go like your standard sex sounds, like, you know, moaning, cap guns, that kind
of like MacGruber.
And then they disappear. You go into a different bedroom. Eleanor is sitting on a bed, marveling how nice everything is. She sees the maze on the floor, which is going to be your next puzzle. You click on it, and it's now... this is the bishop puzzle. So you finish it, move on, and then there's a painting above the fireplace with with the chattering teeth you can click on with the devil stabbing a woman. This is actually a real painting. It's called The Nightmare by Henry Fuseli in 1781. And then I actually went to research it. I didn't write down any of the other ones, but a lot of these are actual real paintings that they recreated to put in the game. And they're all creepy as fuck. So you leave the room, see the woman in white again, go downstairs to that telescope room again where we did the Mars puzzle, and you see the whole group is here. And it looks like one of the earlier cutscenes, and where they first got there. And the whole group is kind of like, yeah, we heard something. Yeah, we saw something. And Edward's playing like the level-headed guy. He's like, guys, it's Stoff. He's a puzzle maker. He does games. You guys just need to chill out.
Classic Stoff.
It's Stoff fucking with us, dude. Ghosts aren't real.
Well, is Stoff a ghost to the ghosts?
Well, he's the only one who knows the rules, so...
You think he's the ghost lord?
No.
Definitely.
Okay,
all
great.
ghosts get +1/+1.
So you head back into the kitchen, and this is where you actually see Tad sneaking in through the window.
Yeah.
And you hear like disembodied voices of other children teasing him. And you leave the kitchen, head back upstairs, see the woman in white yet again. And now we have Hamilton and Eleanor speaking with one another. Now, Hamilton tells Eleanor that, like, they start talking friendly, and he's like, you know, if there's real magic out there, I want to know about it. That's the thing I want. And then Eleanor is like, you know, I just want to start over with my husband, Edward. I love him so much. I just want to get out of here and start over. Poor Eleanor. So she believes that, like, hey, we should team up to get the fuck out of here. Like, screw this puzzle, really. Like, we need to leave. So after that, you head into a new room and do the card memorization. But it's just like,
memory?
You know how, yeah, it's memory. That's all it is. It's a memorization game. And after the puzzle, Dutton and Hamilton, this is another very confusing
Who's Dutton?
moment. Dutton is the well-to-do gentleman,
Kane.
the businessman.
Kane guy.
Oh, Brian.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Brian Dutton and Hamilton
I-
are in the bedroom, and a woman appears on the bed. And I don't know, did Dutton think Hamilton summoned this woman?
That's what it looked like to
Or
me.
is murdering her somehow?
Looked like he conjured the skeleton lady.
Yeah, and then she turns into a skeleton, and Dutton's like, no, stop! And then everyone disappears.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part confused me.
That was part of the real magic.
Oh, that's a shitty dream to have.
Ooh,
Yeah, right?
shit, it was probably real then, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I lost my place.
Bathroom.
Bed, ghost.
Oh, bathroom's what I have next.
Oh, I was where he was. You're doing what, what he is going to do. I am the ghost of Poppascotch's game present. You're the ghost of Poppascotch's game future.
Skeleton
Anyway.
lady.
Now you head into the bathroom.
Boom.
Or you head into the bedroom
Oh.
and then somehow wind up in the kitchen again. So you go back up, find the woman in white. Now you're in the bathroom. Find the knight puzzle on the floor, which there's a bunch of white pieces that are knights and a bunch of black pieces that are knights. It's set up like a chessboard with black squares and white squares, and you need to reverse them all, basically. So all the white needs to go on the white pieces. It's a fucking nightmare. This is the one the dude took like 45 hours to solve.
Yeah.
So afterwards, you solve it, and we get a cutscene with was Martine taking a bath
Yeah.
in one of those big suicide tubs. And
Okay.
Well, never heard him
Neither
referred
did
to
I.
as that. But
oh yeah, with the clawfoot tubs.
yeah,
you
I
know?
know what you're talking about.
Suicide tubs. So she takes a bath, hears a scream, disappears. That's it. That's all we get from her. And then we get into another bedroom. A lot of bedrooms here where we have a briefcase sitting on a bed. And it's just basically another memorization game. This is the one that had the piece that looked almost like a swastika. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. It was like Go
Yeah.
almost.
Mm-hmm.
It's another memorization game. Afterwards, Dutton walks into the room. He finds a briefcase, which I assume is this briefcase. And he's so excited because he found his riches, so to speak. But then somehow, I guess maybe there was poison on the briefcase or someone poisoned him. He just dies.
Yeah. He's like, oh, look at all this money. Oh, God, I'm dying.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
That was the spirit of what happened. You click on a door to the left, and Dutton shows up and is like, you got to go this way, which is strange because we just saw him die. And then you get into what I can only describe as the official chapel of the mansion.
Mm-hmm. That sounds right.
Yeah.
The sacrificial altar.
That's where, because now we have a block puzzle on the floor where this one didn't make any sense. You needed to get from one end to the other. If you stepped on blocks, they would fall and disappear. It doesn't matter. Anyway, afterwards, we have a full motion video on the altar, which I'm pretty sure is Stoff, a little baby on the altar, and then Dutton, right? And then Stoff wants Dutton to sacrifice / murder the baby.
Yep.
You have another one of those chattering teeth moments where you can click on an organ in the corner and a skeleton plays it all creepy and then disappears.
Ooh. That was my favorite part.
It was pretty great. You go through a door on the side, and now you're in the... Frankenstein lab?
That's what I call it. Frankenstein room.
I don't know, because then if you click on the chattering teeth in the table, you see what is Frankenstein's monster, like trying to reach over and grab his brain. I don't know what else this moment was. But this is also the room where it has the most difficult puzzle, where you look through a microscope, and you have to. It's kind of like it's kind of like Othello, the way the rules go. Like you click next to their organisms, I guess, and it affects every one of their pieces that touches it.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah,
it was actually tough. It was really tough. This is the only puzzle. This is one I was talking about where you can actually skip it.
Oh, the video I watched, the guy skipped it after trying it 6 times.
Yeah. You don't. If you skip it, you can still go finish and beat the game, but you will not see the video that you would get to see once you beat it, which is Hamilton in the sciencey room being like, "Wait a minute, this isn't real magic. It's demented science."
Best line in the whole game.
Yeah.
Yes. And then Hamilton touches an envelope and then promptly dies.
Mm-hmm.
I think another poison. I don't know.
Yeah, it's poison everywhere.
So, after this, you head into the music room, or the parlor, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever. There's a piano. There's other instruments. You see floating instruments going through the air with disembodied hands playing the piano. You know, some real creepy shit. You click on the piano, and then you get the puzzle, which is kind of like he refers to it as, it's like Simon Says, or like follow the leader type puzzle, where they'll play a key, you play it. Then they play 2, you play the 2. And you have to keep going until you play like 14 fucking keys. It's a pain in the ass. But after the puzzle, another full motion video with Dutton catching Tad and saying, I won! And then Edward and Martine show up, and they're like, we want the boy. Dutton threatens them with a dagger, and he's like, you fucking bring it, jerk.
Verbatim.
I'm paraphrasing. So Dutton and Edward get into a little scuffle. Edward stabs him like a lot, like a lot of times. Tad runs away. Scene over. Go into the main hallway. There's a swirl pattern on the floor which you can click on, and that teleports you upstairs into the main hallway. Oh. A lot of teleporting and other bullshit. Guys, we're getting there. almost just hang in there.
I'm listening.
We got this. So Martine and Edward are in the paintings room.
Yeah.
Which I guess we'll call it. They're all strange, sick, weird. Most of them are based on real paintings. One of them, a fire starts. One of them is there's like 4 silhouettes on the wall, and you click on one, and they start smoking a cigarette, and then they blow the smoke out of a different guy's face. One of the other paintings, pretty great. There's a small child painting that talks to you and turns into devil, I guess meth mouth. I guess you call it. And he's like, bah, 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 bah. And anyway, so you get to another puzzle. It's a Stoff puzzle. You have regular Stoff colored, green, red. You have to make the whole thing red or green. I don't remember, and I don't care.
Green. Just saying.
Afterwards, you see a picture on the wall, which looks exactly like the music room. So you click on it, and you go right into the music room again. It like teleports you. So you click on a plant in the corner, and this is the weirdest part where they're like, your character is like, it's just like Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
And then you climb it onto one of the second floor bedrooms where you can now enter what I can only refer to as the doll room.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Bunch of kids crying and screaming.
Yeah, kids, children, disembodied voices, crying, screaming. You do a puzzle that has like a mixed up mansion picture. You know the puzzle where it's like 9 quadrants. One of them is blank, and you have to slide it around till you figure it out. Classic puzzle style. But you do that, and then you get another full motion video with Hamilton and Eleanor showing up in the room. And then this is where they finally get to the point where they're like, wait a minute. That voice, I know that voice. That girl used to live next to us. And they come to the conclusion that the children's spirits are in the dolls.
Oh.
Stoff was evil this whole time?
No way.
Crazy, right?
It's hard to believe.
Yeah, especially when the first thing you see of him is him killing a woman and stealing her purse.
Wow.
That's hardly evil.
Whoa, rough take.
Hot take.
So now they say that they start to put this together even more, which I don't understand where they jump to this conclusion. But Eleanor gets it that the children have to be collected because the staff needs a certain number of child souls.
Yeah, where'd she get that?
Classic demonology.
Oh.
I don't know. And then she comes to the conclusion that the last guest, the seventh guest, is the final child he needs to finish his plan for some reason.
Because it
It's
only
the only
makes
thing that
sense.
makes sense, yeah.
So this is where Hamilton and Eleanor are like, for real, we need to get Tad. Now, instead of just us leaving, we need to get Tad and then get the fuck out of here because the other guests are going to be looking for him. So you head into the toy room. You do a little 3 words puzzle.
This is where I first figured out his name was Tad.
And after you finish it, Stoff appears at the far end of the room, and there's a baby. Like he's just looking at a baby crying, like as if it were in a crib or something like that. It's just sitting there. So that's it. That was the whole cutscene. You walk towards it. You see a doll, or I don't know, or a person.
I think it's a doll suffocating a baby.
Yeah, taking a child's soul. I don't, because the it didn't look like a doll. It looked like Martine.
Yeah, you're right. Kind of did. But it was the size of a baby.
Yeah, it was very confusing. And for some reason, extremely erotic.
Yeah. I had to turn it off and
I'm still hard.
come back later.
So, oh, guys, we're so close. You continue upstairs to a door that has a star and a bunch of fucking knives in it. And they're like, what are you going to do? You going to solve the puzzle or what? And you're like, oh, this is a puzzle? Okay. They don't give you, this is probably the least amount of instruction they give you on a puzzle. I just remember moving knives around till they let me in the room.
Yeah, it's one of those star jump puzzles. We have to try to get to the last piece. Yeah.
I still don't know, and I beat it at least twice. But this door takes you into the attic, where you see a large house model type puzzle with lights in each of the windows, which you got to kind of like skip through the lights and get to the top.
Dude, that fucking puzzle didn't make any sense to me.
No, I think you either had to light up everything, or you had to get to the top.
You didn't have to light up everything because you clicked one and then like 16 lights came on. It's like, then you hear Stoff's voice, oh, you're getting closer. It's like, what the fuck?
So after the puzzle, Tad shows up again, Ghost Tad. He sees a mannequin with a disembodied head on it, which maybe... See, I thought that was Julia.
It did kind of look like her.
Yeah.
But then Julia shows up in the scene and takes him and runs downstairs.
Just some lady's head on a mannequin.
But it was like a human head. It was like, you know...
I'm still hard.
So you get to the end, and before the end, there's a mirror, and you click on it, and it's Tad standing in the mirror, where the narrator now finally starts to put some shit together, where the narrator's like, I've seen this all before. It's very familiar, but it hasn't happened yet. It's happening now. I've seen this over and over, and I try to help myself, always failing. And I'm like, and that's where I'm trying to think, is this supposed to be a situation where it's just like the narrator's in hell doomed to repeat the same thing over and over again?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's apparently what they meant with that. Yeah.
Okay.
That was the last paragraph in the wiki plot thing. I was like, no shit. That's what they meant by this.
So now we have the climax of the story. So you can go ahead and climax too there, Syintist. But
I wasn't going to take the stupid joke, but
boom.
Bad.
So you get into the attic. Julia shows up with Tad, hands it to Stoff. I don't know why I forget how to say his name. Hands it to Stoff in the attic. So Stoff does the natural bad guy villain thing, and he vomits acid onto the floor.
just like Reptile from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, exactly. That's where they got the idea. Has to be.
So Julia goes out. I just have written here, Wicked West style. She just melts and goes into the venom pit. I don't even...
You mean like Wicked Witch?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Wicked
Typo.
Witch of the West. There it is.
Yeah.
So,
It's like Wicked West. Like, you mean that movie with Will Smith?
Yeah.
It's like, that's Wild West.
She goes out Big Willie style.
So, the Tad tries to run away. Stoff grabs him with his tongue, which is now like a lizard for some reason.
Why not?
Lightning happens everywhere. And you can't have him. You can't have me. So then naturally, Stoff turns into a skeleton. Lava shows up on the floor, and he falls down into the lava floor. So
Makes sense.
He saved the
fucking
boy.
Tad says, "You saved me. It's all changed now and forever," and goes into what I can only assume is the light of heaven. And then that's fucking it. You go back to the book vignette, and it says, "The end."
It should have said, "the fuck," with a question mark.
WTF?
Oh my God, that was painful.
That was a crazy, crazy game that was pretty much amazing.
So ahead of its time.
Yeah, I mean, what you got to think, too, is this was 1993 when this game came out. So I did look up a little stuff here just to give you a little bit of reference of what was happening in the video game world in 1993.
Minesweeper.
Consoles, the biggest games of 1993 were Doom. Not even consoles, PCs. Doom and Mega Man X were the big games of 1993.
Mega Man X.
Damn.
Yes. The arcade just recently that year got in 3 big games, one being Ridge Racer, which would eventually be ported to home consoles, and then some little unit startups called NBA Jam and Mortal Kombat.
I was going to say Mortal Kombat sounded right around this time. Impossible in the arcade, may I say.
Yeah, you can't beat that computer.
Another couple fun facts. Price tag on release day, $100.
For this game?
Yes, $100.
Are you shitting me?
No, and it sold out immediately.
And people are bitching now. That
For
game's
two
$60.
CD-ROMs.
And the fun fact is you absolutely had to have a CD-ROM to play it, so it drove a lot of those early CD-ROM sales. But also, if you were buying a CD-ROM for your computer after the fact or an external one, CD-ROMs by themselves were like $500-$600.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, I might as well buy a game.
Yeah, like, who was spreading good word about this?
It actually had a shitload of hype before it came out. It was at E3 in 1992.
Jesus Christ.
The last fun fact I have is the game, when it was released, never came out on consoles. It was never ported. And the reason for this...
Because it sucked.
Well, no, because, I mean, if you look at this game, it's just like Night Trap. Night Trap came out in 1992. This would have been perfect for Sega CD. Imagine what Sega CD would have been if it had the hype of this game behind it.
Might still be around today.
It might still be around today. But they could never release it for Sega CD because Nintendo bought the rights to it and never released it.
Nintendo bought the rights to this game.
Yes.
Just so Sega couldn't get
It's
it.
a little adult for Nintendo.
They never released it.
That's why they
did it.
did it.
So Sega couldn't have it.
Well, now I just don't like Nintendo.
Some petty bullshit, right?
That is. Sega was always better.
And the lesson we learned today was capitalism sucks.
That's what this is all about, right?
Yeah.
Capitalism's evil, and it kills children.
And if you don't look at your kids hard enough, white people will try to adopt them and use them in a sacrifice.
You're telling me.
I know, right? Let's go ahead and roll right into our final thoughts.
Oh,
And
let's.
We're going to start with you, Dr. Syintist.
Why don't we start with you? Because it was your game.
Well, I'll go last.
we
if it's
stopped.
mine.
Oh,
We
yeah.
end with the game guy.
I always get confused on how we do this.
And also,
So-
I was first last week.
No, I was.
Need
No,
for
I was
Speed?
last. All right, shut up.
No, I would have been last week. Wasn't it Need for Speed?
Oh my God, you're right. I was first because I gave it a 4 and you guys gave it 6. And I was like, what the fuck?
All right. You
All
can-
right, but anyway,
Yeah,
Syintist, what'd you play? What'd you score? Did the story work for you?
Would I play it? No, I'm not into these kind of point and click puzzle.
Not in a walking simulator?
It's not a walking
Metrovanias.
It just seems very clunky and unintuitive.
It is.
The story, when I watched it originally, didn't make any sense. But then I watched the one that was in chronological order, and it made a lot more sense. Because none of those scenes are in the right order. And some guy took them to match with the book, because apparently there's a book.
Oh, interesting.
And it made incredibly more sense. Not that it was that good. I mean, it's just a bad guy setting stupid puzzles up.
Yeah, I did do pretty great, right?
But I don't know. The story was okay. I gave it a 5.
Jesus.
Damn, son.
A 5.
Why don't you tell us what you think of it? Chump Slap.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Play it? What did you score it? Mm-hmm. And the story, did it kind of work for you?
Nice.
Would I play it? No. Not at all. And I love puzzle games. This one was just... I'm going to say it's like... You ever go to the dentist and you get to pick out a little toy at the end when you were a kid?
Of course.
All these puzzles were those little toys. They were so bad. Worth nothing.
And you still couldn't figure them out to this day.
Yeah. No instructions. No, I wouldn't play it. Bad. Did the story work for me? What story?
Nice.
I mean, it's a guy, and all of a sudden at the end of the game, you're like, oh, he wants kids to... Did he want to make himself immortal? No, because he's dead.
Yeah.
When the story begins. It didn't. I don't know.
It's confusing.
It didn't say why he wanted all these kids, and they conveniently try to push you away from it in the beginning. Like, oh, all these kids just happen to die. Maybe it was poison. Maybe it was lead in the paint. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
probably. Yeah, that checks out.
Some crazy COVID kid disease.
Yeah, who knows?
Too soon, bro.
So, no, I wouldn't play it. Story did not work for me. It could have been... They could have actually told you the story. That would have been cool. So, I gave it a 3.
Oh, tough.
Yeah. Yeah, but the only thing I really want to know is... Poppascotch.
Yes, sir.
Would you play it again? Did the story ever work for you? Oh, shit, I fucked it up.
What would you score it?
Would you play it again? Would you score it? Did the story work for you?
Thank you for asking, Chump Slap. I remember playing this as a kid, and I remember it being very creepy and not like anything else that was out there. It felt like this game was 20 years ahead of every other game I played on a Nintendo. So, and I remember being super creeped out about it as a kid, so I figured that this would be the perfect game to do. It'd be so great. And it doesn't hold up as far as the story goes. I have fond memories of it, and then playing it again, or not playing it again, but watching the video again, it made me remember how fucking frustrated I was trying to do the puzzles. So I remember them being impossible for a child to the point where you had to cheat on every single one just to see the end of the story, and you get to the end, you're like, what the fuck did I just watch? So would I play it again? I mean, I think it'd be like a fun one if you were with a group and getting hammered and everyone was as nostalgic as me. But other than that, no, I don't see myself playing it again. And I see that scenario as very unlikely. So no, I wouldn't play it again. Did the story work for me? No, because it was just a bunch of like creepy glimpses of it, and it added up to a story that the three of us have discussed for over an hour and a half and are still like, I don't know what happened. So that's not great for your story. Creepy? Sure. Good story? Not so much. So what did I score it? I was very much more fueled by nostalgia and love for this and innovation, so I gave it an 8 out of 21.
That's fair. It only got 3 points because it was innovative and different at the time.
So it's 16 total?
Yep.
16 total, which is not even close to the bottom of the barrel. In all the episodes we've done so far in 2020, that's not in the bottom 5. So that tells you.
It's believable.
Yeah.
Underneath that is Ghosts with 11, Gears of War with 13, Turok with 15, Haze with 14, and Need for Speed Underground with 14. So just barely misses the bottom 5. Oh, man, what a great game. It's my favorite. It's like, do you ever see a movie and you're like, okay, I'm glad I watched that. I thought that was pretty good, but there's no fucking way I'm ever watching that again. This is the video game version of that.
Yeah, all the time.
All right, so then with that,
That's it.
We've that's it. That's it. That's the
Christ.
game. So how about we move into our favorite segment of every week?
We have a favorite segment?
Oh, yeah, we do.
What's that?
The favorite segment of every week is Dr. Syintist Tom Hanks Content Lock of the Week.
It's the Tom Hanks Content Lock of the Week.
Oh, nice. Every week, we ask Dr. Syintist for a 100% guaranteed pick on what is a great piece of Tom Hanks content. Sometimes he does a movie. Sometimes he does a fucking movie with Tom Hanks in it for 30 seconds. Sometimes he does a museum exhibit. Who knows what he's going to do this week except for him. So, Dr. Syintist, what do you got for us?
It's a Tom Hanks movie where he saves kids from the devil all the time. It's called A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Oh, what a fucking curveball.
It, like you said, every week it's amazing how you always find that Tom Hanks parallel.
Yeah. It's the first thing I thought of when I was watching this cutscene movie.
Wow. He's almost like Stoff in that.
Well, no, he's more like the protagonist saving the kids, but
The anti-Stoff.
yes.
There we go. Anti-Stoff.
Thank you for that, Dr. Syintist. And that'll take us to our favorite segment of every week, which is Chump Slaps. Fuck, marry, kill.
Chump Slaps.
Fuck, marry, kill.
Every week, Dr. Syintist and I pick 3 characters from the game we just discussed, and Chump Slap has to decide which one he's going to have sex with, which one he's going to marry, and which one he's going to murder. And since we've been going in a backsies, forthsies for who picks 2 characters, Dr. Syintist, it's your turn to pick 2 of the 7-ish characters we saw today. So, Dr. Syintist,
Yep, I'll pick 2.
what do you got?
Hamilton, the zombie of the group. And
Sexy hat.
yeah, I know. You could take it from him, see? And we'll go with Julia, the insane old lady.
Julia Gulia.
Yeah, no. Julia Gulia is Drew Barrymore.
Julia Hein something.
Heinelika?
Make it like a high, make it like a Heinio.
Yeah, those 2.
Okay.
I guess for me, then, I'm going to go and Eleanor Knox.
Oh, big pink.
Big pink, as you call it. So we got your 3 are Eleanor Knox, Julia Hine, and who was the other one?
Hamilton,
Swami.
the magician. Yes.
Hamilton.
Hamilton the magician.
Maybe we stumped him this week, Poppascotch.
Never.
Maybe. I really wanted to pick Stoff, but I knew he'd fuck him, so I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know I have a thing for wheelchairs.
You could do him doggy and he can lick your ass at the same time.
Come on.
All right, let's go. Let's be serious here.
Why start now?
All right, I'll probably marry Julia
Okay.
because, I don't know. Is she really old?
I don't know.
She's got money, though.
Her best days are apparently behind her in the looks department. So
know,
she lamented.
Yeah, she can just pine for herself in the mirror while I'm...
Sleeping on her bed or money?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I would have sex with Big Pink because she's in a loveless relationship and she would...
You can't disappoint her.
I know.
Nice. Very nice.
And I would kill that fucking Hamilton Temple, dude. Get that fucking hat off your head, you psycho.
I did not see that coming.
No,
Who wears that every day?
I really thought you were going to marry him for the hat.
Oh, I'll kill him and take the hat. Just to
Either
burn
way,
it.
he's getting the hat. Summarization again was murder Hamilton,
Yep.
marry Julia, throw Big Pink a bone.
Exactly. See, I would have married Big Pink, but she's in a loveless relationship, and it seems like she'd drift away and not be vocal about it. Like we couldn't communicate, and it would be horrible. So,
Right, Julia.
And she would need some time to get some time for herself between then. You don't want to just
yes,
jump on her.
exactly. And Julie, she looks like she'll tell me what she's thinking.
Oh, yeah, she will.
Communication's important, is what he's saying.
Totally honest with me.
All right, let's say someone thought that Julia was really the way to go, that you should have really, stuck it to Julia instead of Big Pink. And they have a whole bunch of fan fiction involving this. Where would they send that to via email, Sir Chump Slap?
Well, you can send that to plottytime@gmail.com. And if you have any slappers you think I haven't seen and might be good, you let me know too.
Yeah, get those slappers over to him. You need some slapping material. So, let's say, what if they wanted to get us slappers like a lot faster on social media? Where would they get to us there, Dr. Syintist?
At Plotty Time on Twitter and Instagram.
Perfect. And if you wanted to leave a comment on a video that has our logo, but you hear the podcast, I don't even know where they would go to that. Anybody have any idea?
HBO?
HBO Max. Yeah. We have a YouTube channel. Go check that
LimeWire?
out. Like and subscribe in the YouTube channel. It really helps us when you do that. So get on there, listen to that shit. You'll love it. And we'll speak to you later. How about that?
Peace.
Be safe out there, people.